Good morning, everybody. This is Scott coming to you from Las Vegas. Listen, I wanted to get a quick take on what I saw yesterday in the Indiana Fever versus the Chicago Sky game. First of all, this game was scheduled on purpose because the league has two goals. One is to get Caitlin Clark a championship, and two, to get Caitlin Clark to be the MVP of the league. And they want this on a repeated basis because they realize it brings in the most clicks and the most views and the most this and the most that. Screw the other players. Screw the other great players. They don't care. They don't care. See, the thing with Asia Wilson is she plays basketball. The thing with Nafisa Collier, she plays basketball. Breanna Stewart, Jacqueline Jones. I can go on and on and on. These players play basketball. They get out there and they play their basketball. But the long story short is the league is not invested not one single bit in making the rules fair for everybody to become MVPs and fair for everybody to win a championship. Okay? This game was scheduled to be exactly what it was. I told my wife about 2 months ago, maybe 2 months ago, nothing less than 2 months ago, that this was going to happen. As soon as I saw the rosters, I told Lori, my wife, and she can testify to this is going to be a 20 to 30 point blowout. Guaranteed. Later on, I readjusted because I listened and I thought, okay, maybe I'm not seeing this whole thing pretty clearly, whatever. And see, this is what happens when I second guess myself. Now, people brought up legitimate points now, so I'm not going to poo-poo the points that they made because they were legitimate points. And I could see exactly what they were talking about. But then I adjusted what I said, and I shouldn't have. I should have stuck to my guns because there are more than one person that know I said this was going to be a big-time blowout, and I predicted between 20 and 30 points. Because if you look at the rosters and know what they did, one of the things I said from the very beginning, and I've repeatedly said it on TikTok, was they have three, originally, before they got any free agents, meaning the Fever, had 3 double-digit scores. They went out and got at least 3 more. Okay? In what world do you not think that's going to matter? In what world do you really think that's not going to matter? Of course it's going to matter. And who does Chicago go out and get? In the free agency? Chicago says it wants to build around the 2 rookies. Well, Angel came to play yesterday, and to me, as far as I can tell, about the only one that did. Chicago organization management is trash. Not the team itself, but Chicago is trash. Management, Jeff, and the general manager is trash. I have no respect for that man whatsoever. Ownership, I have no respect for them whatsoever. They knew they put out there a bad product, an inferior product. They put a product out there that does not in any way, shape, or form resemble or even give you the indication that they are trying to win a championship team. That's exactly the truth. And I'm going to say it. This is exactly how I feel. I love Chicago. I love the Chicago Sky as a team. The women, I'm fine. And I love me some Angel Reese. But she showed up to play yesterday. She showed up to play. Well, she showed up to play last year too, so surprise, surprise. And exactly what I thought was going to happen did happen. Angel Reese was going to be what she did. Next thing you know, everybody else comes in with subpar performances. Atkins, 12 points, whatever the case may be? No, Atkins has got to be averaging, since you went and got her and you traded draft picks to get her, averaging at least 16, 17, 18 points a game, if not 19. Because there is no more firepower that can average that kind of points. Oh, you have spot-up shooters. You have some people that can chuck up some damn 3-point shots and make 2 or 3 of them, maybe. But anybody who thought that Chicago, is looking like they're headed for a championship level, it's crazy. Now, I know they're going to play again in a couple more weeks, and I think it's going to, in Chicago, whatever the case may be. But unless something really dire happens, it's going to be another Indiana win. So, I mean, that game was pathetic. You get blown out on TV by 30 some odd points. Like, why does that not bother you? I saw them after the game, didn't like anybody was bothered by it. Oh, they were doing their little dab, and they had a little circle and everything else like that. You not only embarrassed as Chicago and embarrassed yourself as a team, but you also helped set up the largest margin of victory in an opening game in Indiana Fever history, which they said. And you're part of that. You are part of that, Chicago Sky. You are part of that. Don't get me wrong. The league set you up. They did. They put this matchup out there feeling that for sure. I don't care if the teams were already in before the schedule or the teams didn't get made till after the schedule. One way or another, the league figured Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese on opening day was going to be a, number one, a good game, but more than likely a win for Indiana being at home. They knew that. That's why they set this game up. That's exactly why they set it up. Because they wanted to do two things: show the rivalry and show a win for the Indiana Fever. And that's exactly what they got. That's exactly what they wanted. That's exactly what they got. And it came at the expense of Chicago Sky. Tyler Marsh, the coach for Chicago Sky, is set up for failure because his bosses don't know how to recruit good players, or they don't want to. They're not trying to win a championship in Chicago. They're just trying to put a product out there on the team that look halfway whatever around Reese. Reese got time to go to the Galleon. Reese got time to do photo shoots. Reese got time to go do things that she wants to do, appear in this, that, and the other, and she's the only one who is that famous on that team. She's the only one who whisks around the world and do her thing, and she's the only one that, after all that, showed up and actually played basketball. Exactly what I expected from her is exactly what she did. Not only that, she exceeded. She got 17 rebounds. I don't want to hear about no offensive defense. Stop, y'all. Stop with that BS. If she's getting offensive rebounds, quote unquote, from her own misses, then that's a reflection of the other team's lack of knowing how to freaking box out. That's a lack of somebody not putting a body on her. You know what the game is with Reese. She's a hell of a rebounder, period. Don't try to get away from that. You don't have a game plan for that? You knew what she did last year. She set a freaking record with it last year. Let me see if I can get this straight. You don't know that Reese is going to hit them boards hard. You don't know that. Yeah, right. Okay, fine. Yeah, say you don't know that. Now let's go to the other side and the other star, Caitlin Clark. For all of you guys that talk about stat padding, you are up in a game by 30 points or 27 to 30 points at the time you insert Cece back into that game when there was less than 4 minutes to go, which there's no indication that Chicago was making a comeback, not by that many points, because she was one rebound short of a triple-double. That's exactly why you put her in there, so she could get it. Pleases the crowd, pleases the casual fans, pleases the internet, pleases the WNBA. That's exactly what they did. Oh, get her in there so she can get that. Because there was no godly reason, for real. It had nothing to do with winning the game, right? Her being back in there at that time had nothing to do with winning the game. That game was in hand and in the books. Nothing was going to happen other than Fever walk out there with a win. You put Cece back in there because you wanted her to get that 10th rebound so that she could have a a triple-double. Okay, that is called stat padding. That's exactly what that is. Because there's what rhyme or reason is there to put in the star player when you're up by 27 to 30 points? What other reason? In the fourth quarter? With 4 minutes, maybe less? Hell, I don't care if there was 5 minutes in the game, 6 minutes in the game. You knew damn well there was no reason to put her in that game. They weren't going to come back. There was nothing that Chicago did that make you think they were going to come back from 27 to 30 points at that point. Whether it was 6 minutes, 7 minutes, I don't care what it was. But it was less than that when they put her back in. There was no reason to put Caitlin Clark back in that game other than the fact you wanted her to have a triple-double. Now, this is where I'm going to take a surprising turn on some of you, especially you casual fans. I've seen that done with every single superstar I can think of that was getting close to records or getting close to accomplishments. On teams that were men, teams in football, basketball. I've seen it happen over the years because I've been watching basketball since 1971. Years I've been watching, and I've seen it done hundreds, if not 1,000 times. So when all of you mindless Caitlin Clark casual fans, not the real ones, but you mindless ones, which is to me about most of you, because that's the only player you pay attention to. You don't care about basketball, you just care about watching her play, which is kind of silly, but whatever. I mean, don't get me wrong, fine, you want to have your player, but you guys want to put down other players. That's like what you do. Okay. Caitlin Clark yesterday got a triple-double, and they put her back in so she can get the triple-double. So you casual fans, stop talking about anybody else stat padding, because that's exactly what they did with Caitlin yesterday. And you all will run around, she got a triple-double, she got a triple-double, she got a triple-double, but you won't tell the real story about that, and that is that they put her back into the games to get the 10th rebound. You will not tell that story. You will not say it. You will not call it stat pad because it's Caitlin Clark. But if anybody else had done it, that's exactly what you would say. That's exactly what you say. You casual fans, number one, grow up and find out about the game. That's number one. Number two, be fair across the board instead of just kissing one ass. And understand the game of basketball and the stars. Everybody's not supposed to be somebody that comes down and throws a bunch of passes and chucks up three-point shot. That's not what everybody's game is. But that's the only one you want to see. Fine, that's the only one you want to see. That just tells me that you really don't know basketball. You just want to see her chuck up a bunch of shots and it's all cute and it's all fun and all that kind of stuff. That's fine. That's your thing. That's your thing. But it just tells me who you are. That's why we can't have a conversation. But that's exactly what I saw yesterday. Chicago management, you need to be ashamed of yourself because you put out there an inferior product and you know it's an inferior product. It does not resemble anything close to trying to build a championship. Chicago management is trash. Sky management is trash. That's all they are, trash. I just wanted to get on here and put my point of view out there. Hey, congratulations, league. You got what you wanted. You got your marquee star in the spotlight at home, where you put that game, because the league makes the schedule, not the teams. You got exactly what you wanted. So I hope everybody's happy. Chicago should be happy. They really should be happy. The management should be happy because this is the team that you all picked. Tyler Martin picked this team. You did. So I hope you're happy with being, oh, by the way, a record-setting for the Indiana Fever. It was a record-setting night for them as well, as making another basketball team look like the same Brazil team. You beat Brazil worse than you beat them, but they're in the fucking neighborhood. That's pathetic. Good job, Chicago management.